Now, we all know that using AI to write any code can be dog, but I think I may have stumbled across the secret sauce. Now, to be fair, if you throw a one-shot prompt at any model, it's not going to do a great job. But if you give it rich context and structure, it can do a pretty decent job. Now, I've done this before with Cursor AI. I'll leave a link in the description below and somewhere at the top here. Now, I asked it to build me a block theme for WordPress from scratch. It didn't do a great job. It was pretty skeletal, there were some gaps, but it was okay as a starting point. Now, I've been using Claude Code a lot more recently, and to be honest with you, I much prefer it. One thing I like is that you can keep Markdown files inside project folders to provide lots and lots of context. And I've done a previous video on using Markdown with Claude to guide building specific plugins. And again, I'll leave a link in the description below and somewhere up here right now. So I decided to see what Claude Code would do with building a block theme from scratch using the same approach. Check this out. I've got a Claude Markdown file sitting right here in my theme folder. The theme is called Potential. And that name feels fitting because what's about to happen is exactly that. Potential turning into something real. This single file isn't just text. It's the construct, the context, the blueprint that Claude Code will be using to build this entire block theme from scratch. Inside it, I've stacked the deck. Architecture standards, the development environment, WP CLI commands, ready to fire, and a full breakdown of templates and parts. I've even laid out the principles of block themes and rules for mobile-first design. At the heart of this is a rough theme.json file, bare bones, waiting for Claude to flesh out. Content size fixed to 1000 pixels, wide size set to 1200 pixels. I've added spacing rules, font families, sizes, and even the color palette foundations. But here's where it gets interesting. Design lives and dies by color. So I've locked in a primary and secondary that must never fight each other. Instead, I want muted tones and variants to give depth, with accent palettes for states like success, error, warnings, and info. And accessibility? That's non-negotiable. The file makes it crystal clear. Every single component must pass WCAG standards. No excuse. I've gone as far as embedding HTML examples just to drive the point home. This is a block theme. Templates are HTML files, powered by block markup. No PHP, no shortcuts. Then I've upped the stakes. The workflow. Claude has to create the base files, apply the global styles, stitch together the templates and parts, and finally run checks for security and performance. Native WordPress APIs only. I've laid out categories of blocks that must exist. Header, footer, feature, gallery, text, because the structure matters as much as the detail. And then I push the rules harder with call to action patterns, buttons, forms, everything designed to move the user forward. These have to let the primary color lead. The secondary stands by, shaping hover states and contrast. Everything outside of the CTAs leans on accents and muted tones. Hierarchy, responsiveness, accessibility, it's all in there. A roadmap telling Claude what must come first and how every detail should support the bigger picture. By the end, the instructions feel almost relentless. Pattern lists cover everything. Hero headers, content layouts, CTAs, galleries, typography, footers, blogs, archives, even commas and utility blocks. To keep it grounded, I remind myself of the guardrails, code validation, WordPress coding standards, asset management, every safeguard in place. I've even documented my own local environment. I use Valet using PHP 8.1, debugging switched on. Claude has no excuse not to get this right. So that moment has arrived. I'll open up Claude, select my Claude Markdown file in the potential theme folder, confirm it's loaded, and disable confirmations so that edits will run automatically. There's no going back now. The command is simple, build the theme. But the effect? We're about to find out. The potential folder starts to come alive. Files appear, directories fill. Slowly, the skeleton of a block theme starts to take shape right in front of my very own eyes. Claude reports success, templates, template parts, patterns including a hero, testimonial, and pricing. Now, has it done enough, or has it just sparked some curiosity? Now that's the final test, activating the theme. So I'll pop back to WordPress and load the site and check out these files. What appears next will decide everything. Has Claude really built a foundation I can trust, or is it just the first step in refining the potential? Okay, so we've got our test site called Claude Test. So let's log into the admin area and head over to Appearance and then Themes. So the potential theme is there alongside the 2025, which is currently active. So I'm going to activate the potential theme. No errors. Okay, so that's a good sign. Now let's open up the site editor and check things out. First, I'll look at the header. Okay, the header is there and that all looks good. And we've also got a footer in place. So they've both been registered correctly, which is good. Now, if we check the templates, we can see we've got an archive, an index, 404, search results, and a single post template. I've already got a few pages set up on this site, including a front page. So we'll look at that. And it looks like it's currently using the page template. So I'm going to go back to cursor for a second, and I can see that there is no front page HTML. So it's going to default to the page template. So in my theme folder, all I need to do is to add the front page template. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to duplicate the page template and rename it to front-page.html. Now that's the one that Claude didn't create, a front page template. Now I probably didn't specify that clearly enough in the Markdown file, so I'll make a note of that for next time. Now I'll go back to Firefox and I'll refresh the front page. Okay, that's loading, but it is identical to the page template because we made a duplicate of it. So let's modify the new front page template. Now I can see it's trying to include comments, which is a template part which doesn't actually exist. So that's why it's throwing this error. Now we don't actually need the comments on the front page anyway, so all I'm going to do is just remove that block entirely. And I can do that directly in the template. So we'll save that and then go back and refresh the page, and I'm still seeing an issue. And it looks like there's a group block with a separator, and again that's not needed, so I'll just remove that too. And there's no need for a featured image either, so I'll get rid of that. Now I'll keep the post content and I'll set it to full width. That gives us more flexibility for wide sections while keeping inner blocks constrained to the content width, which according to my Markdown file and the theme.json file is set to 1000 pixels. And that will allow us to set blocks to a wide width and then have all the content of those blocks sit in the 1000 pixel width. And this is nice flexibility to have if you want to have full width sections with color backgrounds to break up your page. So saving that, and now let's explore some of these patterns that I'd asked to create in the Markdown file. And brilliant, it looks like we've got 31 patterns in total. And that's quite impressive actually. So Claude generated all of these automatically based on my context in my Markdown file. There are a few issues here, but nothing major. This is actually a solid foundation. I may never have to build patterns again. So scrolling through, I can see there is a pricing table, there's a stats pattern, meet the team, and a timeline. So pretty much everything I'd requested in the Markdown file brief is here. Very, very impressive. So let's now test them out by building something. So I'll open up the front page and start adding some of these patterns. So let's begin with a hero section, and that one looks pretty good. Even if the vignette effect doesn't quite work, seriously, it's an easy fix, so I can fix that later. Then I'll drop in a pricing table, followed by a meet the team block, or pattern rather, then a testimonial grid, and finally a call to action, and maybe the ready to get started as well. So there's a set of patterns. So you can see we're starting to build this page. And let's get a quote block for some variation, and maybe reorder things so that the pricing table sits below that section there. Now honestly, this is a really strong starting point for an AI generated block theme. I'm genuinely impressed. Now let's check out the front end. Now we probably don't need the page title appearing here, so I can jump back to the site editor and simply remove it. Okay, so I can now remove the redundant title from the template. Save that. And there we go, much cleaner. Now there's still some polish to do, but overall this is a great foundation. The typography looks nice, the spacing is consistent, and with a few tweaks to the primary blue and accent orange, this could easily become a solid starter theme. Pretty good result for an AI generated block theme, in my opinion. Now, if you'd like a copy of the Markdown content for this project, just use the link below. So there you have it. That's using Claude Code to build a block theme from scratch. Now, did it do a great job? Well, that's debatable. Did it do a bad job? Absolutely not. Now, anything that was missed was down to me. I didn't include enough context. Things like adding a front page template or adding the comments template. If I had, the results would have been spot on. Overall though, I think it did a far better job than Cursor did, and that's down to one thing: the Markdown file that you leave in the folder where you run the prompt. This, in my opinion, is the secret sauce. It's an absolute dream to work with Claude Code in that sense. Crafting a Markdown file for hours before you even run the project is brilliant. Now, if you've tried it, let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you got on. If you haven't and you want to know how, just ask. I'm happy to help. Now, if you found this video useful, I would appreciate if you would give this video a like. It really helps others get to see this video. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, then what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button for more content like this. For now, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.